Very good morning, students. We'll continue with module number 1. So we started the module number 1 with parallel computer models. So under this topic, we came across the computer generation, then elements of modern computers, then evolution of computer architecture. So in this video lecture, we'll see the system attributes to performance. The attributes to performance. The ideal performance of a computer system demands a perfect match between machine capability and the program behavior here. So machine capability can be enhanced with better hardware technology, innovative architectural features, and efficient resources management. However, the program behavior is difficult to predict due to its heavy dependency on applications and runtime conditions. There are also many other factors affecting program behavior, including algorithm design, data structures, language efficiency, programmer skill, and compiler technology. It is impossible to achieve a perfect match between hardware and software by improving only a few factors without touching other factors. Besides, machine performance may vary from program to program, so this makes the peak performance an impossible target to achieve in real life applications. Consider the execution of a given program on a given computer. So the simplest measure of a program performance is the turnaround time, which includes disk and memory access, then input and output activities, compilation time, then operating system overhead, and the CPU time. In order to shorten the turnaround time, one must reduce all these time factors here. In a multi-programmed computer, the input, output, and system overheads of a given program may overlap with the CPU times required in other programs. So therefore, it is fair to compare just the total CPU times needed for program execution. The CPU is used to execute both system programs and user programs, although often it is a user CPU time that concerns the user, which is the user concerned here. Now coming to the clock rate and that is a CPI, the cycles per instruction. The CPU of today's digital computer is driven by a clock which is a constant cycle time t. The inverse of a cycle time is the clock rate, that is f is equal to 1 by t, and the size of a program is determined by its instruction count, that is IC, in terms of a number of machine instruction to be executed in the program. A different machine instruction may require a different number of clock cycles to execute. Therefore, the cycles per instruction, that is a CPI, becomes an important parameter for measuring the time needed to execute each instruction. Now coming to the performance factors, let IC, that is instruction count, be the number of instructions in a given program or the instruction count. The CPU time t in seconds per program needed to execute the program is estimated by finding the product of three contributing factors. So the time t, CPU time t, can be given as the instruction count into the cycles per instruction into the cycle time, that is small t. Usually a memory cycle is k times the processor cycle t. Therefore, we can rewrite the above equation as t is equal to instruction count into p plus m into k, where p is the number of processor cycles needed for the instruction decode and execution. Now coming to the system attributes, the above 5 factors, that is IC instruction count, then P, that is the number of processor cycles needed for the instruction decode and execution, then small m, that is the number of memory references needed, then K, it is a ratio between the memory cycle and processor cycle, and T, that is CPU time, are influenced by 4 factors system attributes. They are the instruction set architecture, then compiler technology, then CPU implementation and control, and the cache memory. So the below table shows the performance factors versus the system attributes. The instruction set architecture affects the program length IC, as you can see here. So this instruction set architecture affects the program length IC and processor cycles per instruction, and compiler technology, which affects the program instruction count as well as the processor cycles per instruction and memory reference, whereas the processor implementation affects only the processor cycles per instruction and the processor cycle time, whereas the cache and the memory hierarchy, which affects the memory access latency K and the processor cycle time here. Now coming to the MIPS rate, so million instruction per second. Let capital C be the total number of clock cycles needed to execute a given program. Then CPU time in equation 1.2 can be rewritten as T is equal to capital C, that is the total number of clock cycles needed to execute a given program, into small t, or C by F. MIPS rate given as IC divided by T into 10 raised to 6, or F divided by CPI, that is the cycles per instruction, into 10 raised to 6, or F into IC divided by C into 10 raised to 6. Now coming to the throughput, that is this is an important concept, is related to how many programs a system can execute per unit time, called the system throughput, that is a WS. In a multi-programmed system, the system throughput is often lower than the CPU throughput, that is a WP, which is given as WP is equal to F divided by IC into cycles per instruction. Now I will be posting an assignment for you people, so consider this as a homework, and what you need to do, you need to go through this problem definition. Okay, so the problem definition is like this: program contains the 4,50,000 arithmetic instruction and 3,20,000 data transfer instruction and 2,30,000 control transfer instruction. So each arithmetic instruction takes 1 clock cycle to execute, whereas each data transfer and control transfer instruction takes 2 cycles to execute on a 400 megahertz processor. Now you need to determine the effective number of cycles per instruction, that is you need to calculate the CPI, and instruction execution rate, that is the MIPS rate, and execution time for this program. So you need to calculate these 3 factors, and you need to upload the answers, your answers, onto the Moodle. So onto the Moodle I will be posting an assignment, so you people need to be upload your assignments onto the Moodle here. Okay, thank you for watching this video.